then I think कॉलेज से पास आउट होने के बाद मैं एक कॉर्पोरेट कल्चर में काम करने के बाद में आई थिंक आई गॉट दिस आइडिया दैट ओके इफ यू रियली वांट टू go towards the mountaineering, you need to build a good CV, a good profile. So how you can do that? So actually I start doing my research in like reverse engineering कि भाई अगर मुझे एक नया profession choose करना है तो this is gonna be tough because I'm like already like only 23 or 22 and a half कि भाई अभी नया एक profession use करना है, family को मनाना है, तो कैसे करना है. So then I start doing a रिवर्स इंजीनियरिंग की क्या क्या करते हैं, क्यों क्यों इसके प्रोफेशनल कोर्सेज होते हैं, तो वो मेरे प्रोफाइल में ऐड करके तो इन अ फ्यूचर मे बी आफ्टर मे बी good amount of 5 or 6 years maybe I'll be able to get a good job or something. So then I just left the job and I came home and I told my parents that okay I really want to write an MBA. So they were like okay you can stay. So उस टाइम तक मैंने अपने आप को माउंटेनियरिंग कोर्सेज के लिए एनरोल कर लिया था. एंड India mein we have 6 mountaineering institute which governed by Ministry of Defense, and all the instructors they are coming from Indian Army. They teach you all the technical aspects like how to read weather reports and how to climb in the mountain, technical stuff, glacier walks and all these stuff that they talk to you. They teach all these things. So उस टाइम तक मैंने enroll कर लिया था, but I was staying in my house and just told my parents that okay I'm gonna write MBA, and they were like okay you are allowed to stay in the house, and then you were like okay you left your job and like okay you are actually looking forward to the MBA. But the entire day my entire day was like I was working with NGO, I was studying for MBA, and then I was learning German, and so I was just trying to keep myself busy so that मुझे अपनी फैमिली को थोड़ा कम फेस करना पड़े. And later on one day I just told my parents like कि मेरा MBA का एग्जाम और मेरा जो माउंटेनियरिंग कोर्स का जो फर्स्ट डे है वो आपस में क्लैश हो रहे हैं. सो नाउ आई रियली वांट टू गो एंड डू माउंटेनियरिंग, एंड दे वर लाइक क्वाइट सरप्राइज कि उनको नहीं पता कि माउंटेनियरिंग होता क्या. देन I sat with them and I told them okay there is a place where they can teach you how to climb, how to do all this process and everything, and they were like कि हाँ ठीक है कोई बात नहीं थोड़ा करेगा वापस आ जाएगा. But then later on it was like on and on like a lot of courses, and then like I was just continuously working on my own profile. And to be honest, when I was working with Bhushan Steel Tata, I was saving good amount of money. So then I thought okay if I'll not work maybe for 2-3 years, I can use this saving on myself. I'll invest this money on myself, and I try to create a new profile for myself, and then I can go side by side and try to do all the expedition and all these things. And then that's how my mountaineering career started. And so I would say I was like more inspired by outdoor life and like to living a healthy life. And then my brother from the army, he also played a role. And then later on I got to know that my grandfather, he used to go in the mountain. So now my parents thought like okay I got some gene from him that okay कि वो भी mountain में जाते थे तो ये भी जाता है तो ऐसा. So that's how I started my journey. Yeah.
Amazing the amount of planning that you have done to get to this, right? I mean, it's very difficult. All of us are, get into one stream, and it's very difficult for us to take a step out and look at something completely opposite. So that's glad to know. So maybe let's switch gears a little bit, and maybe if you wanted to explain how was maybe if you remember your first expedition, what's been your experience, if you could share.
Okay.
What does I mean, we have seen expeditions in Discovery channels and but can you explain us the complete preparation? How does it start when you start a expedition? What do you prepare, and then how does the day look like, and who do you take along? How do you if you can explain the whole story, yes. I think it'll be interesting for us. Yeah.
Oh yes, it's a very interesting process actually. So okay, so I just want to tell you about the Indian perspective where how we climb. So in India we have an Indian Mountaineering Foundation and their office in Delhi, and they kind of regulate all the mountaineers who like actually done their courses from these institutes. So they actually recognize you as a mountaineer and you can take a permit from them. But taking a permit before that, what you do is try to find out a good mountaineer in the space, and find out an objective. Okay, this is the mountain, and we're gonna climb this. And then what you do is try to read lot of history. So we try to read lot of histories कि हम लोग जाते हैं वहां पे, पुराने जो एक्सपीडिशन हुए हैं उनकी हिस्ट्रीज पढ़ते हैं कि उन्होंने कौन सा राउट यूज किया, नॉर्थ राउट यूज किया, साउथ राउट यूज किया, नॉर्थ ईस्ट यूज किया, क्यों किया, like then how many days it's going to take, how we manage our food, how we manage our ration, and how we manage our route, how we manage all the equipment and everything. So this is how we try to organize all these stuff before taking a permit, and then we take a permit, and then we start our expedition. And also before deciding any objective, we try to train like a good amount of month. Like suppose if my objective is climb Everest, so for Everest I think I trained like almost 6 years. And then I got to know, okay, like now I'm ready in order to climb Everest. And then if somebody wants to climb a 7,000-meter peak, so they try to climb 5,000 and then 6,000 and then 7,000, because they want to understand how their body works in a particular altitude, because there's no air in anything and there are a lot of things happen to your body. So this is the process how you go. So if I organize any 6,000 or 7,000 or 8,000, I try to take people who actually have experience in those areas. So and then we start from our roadhead and try to approach the mountain. So sometimes your approach is like 5 days away and 6 days away. So after walking 6 days or 7 days, you actually see the mountain. Okay, that's the mountain we want to climb. And then you establish your base camp, and then you acquire your advanced base camp, and then camp 1, camp 2, and then go at the top. But in between these process, what you do is most of the time you go at the higher camp, leave some of your stuff, come back down. So we call it in mountaineering terminology, we call it climb high and sleep low. That means you climb high, try to spend maybe 2-3 hours in that particular altitude, try to tell your body and try to tell your heart rate, the heart, that okay, this is the place where I am and the oxygen is this much, so you need to beat accordingly, and you need to pump RBCs accordingly to the all the organs. And then once you stay in that particular altitude, maybe 2-3 hour, you again come down where the oxygen is a bit denser, and then you can sleep nicely. So this process we do like 3 days from base camp or advanced base camp, and then camp 1. So just like advanced base camp, camp 1, we just dump some of the stuff, came down. Then again next day we go some like dump some of the stuff and then came down, and next day we completely shift at the next camp. And by doing this process, ये जो 3 दिन का प्रोसेस है वो हमारी बॉडी को इतना ज्यादा एक्लेमेटाइज कर देता है उस पर्टिकुलर एनवायरनमेंट से कि हाँ ठीक है, नेक्स्ट आफ्टर 3 days we can actually go and stay there, and we can avoid all the acute mountain sickness. Like there are a lot of sickness happens in the mountain when you go in the mountain, like hallucination, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, and all these stuff. And there is no medicine for all these symptoms. You have to go down if you really want to recover. And then the same process we follow from camp 1 to camp 2 and then camp 3. And then we try to find out a very good weather window, and then we reach at the top, and then we just wind up all the stuff, all the tents and foods and everything, and then we come down till the base camp directly. So this is how like a typical expedition looks like. And in this expedition, we like regularly contact with our team at the roadhead. So unse weather report lena, unse regular communication mein rehna, and if we need something extra, we can talk to them and we can tell them, okay, we are sending one guy back और हमें ये चीजें चाहिए. So this is how we plan like this is how we plan an expedition in a high mountain. Yes.
ये भी लीगल पे कर देते.
Hello. Yeah.
Go, Rahul. Sorry.
I think somebody is cross talking. Kindly, other people, please mute if you are not talking.
Yeah, so that's the process we follow in the high mountain. Yes.
Excellent. I think that gives us a fair bit of perspective. So, out of all your expeditions, which one you remember most, and which one is your special? I'm sure Mount Everest, but
Okay,
So, do you have
okay.
any favorites? One of
Yeah,
your
so I'll tell you. So up till now, I led almost 50 plus mountains. Uh, and out of them, I think I successfully climbed 25 or 26. And nobody talk about their failure, to be honest. And I also don't talk about the failures. But I think one of the very good expedition was my failure when I was climbing in Kargil. So we were climbing. There's a 7,000 meter peak, Nunkun. Uh, when you go to the Kargil, like there's a highest mountain in that particular area, Mount Nun. That's a height of 7,135 meter, and that was my first mountain. That was my first mountain, first 7,000 meter mountain. So I was climbing that mountain with a army team. So we were there like in two teams, team one and team two, and we were doing everything by plan, like climbing one by one, base camp, and then advanced base camp, and then camp one, and then camp two, and we divided our entire team into two teams, two small teams, nine members. So one team is going ahead, one team is gonna stay behind, and something happened to the team one, team two will react, and they are gonna save them. Okay, so we were doing like this. Okay, so there's a one day, our team one is at camp two, we were at camp one, and after that we stuck in a very bad weather for 6 days, back to back 6 days, and there was like continuously snowing, and we were just eating and drinking and just sleeping in our tent, and every day we just unzip our tent and just see like, okay, it's still a lot of snow, and we can't go ahead. Okay, so after 6 days, there was no rain and like good weather. We got a good weather, so हमने decide किया कि चलो आगे जाते हैं. So our team one, they shifted from camp 2 to camp 3, and we shifted from camp 1 to camp 2. So we shifted earlier little bit. तो हम उनसे I guess half an hour पहले हम लोग camp 2 पहुंच गए, and we could see कि like, okay, they were going like an ant, like a small छोटा सा चींटी की तरह वो लोग ऐसे स्नो पे चलते हुए दिख रहे थे. And then suddenly there was a like cloud burst, and I was like, okay, there must be a cloud burst हो गया होगा, ठीक है. And we were just keep giving message on walkie talkie, but there was no response at all. So like we were doing this like maybe half an hour or 1 hour, and then by accident I just switch on the satellite phone. And from the satellite phone, I suddenly got a call from Dogra Scouts commanding officer that your team is stuck, your team one is stuck in avalanche. Now you guys have to ready and go and save them. So we quickly geared up. हमने जल्दी से gear पहना, and we walked like six hours. We walked 6 hours in that field, and then when we reached at the like foot of that mountain, we could see कि वहां से पूरा जो route है वही wash out हो गया है, like it's completely washed out. So then we pitched a different route. We went from a different route. We reached at the top, like very like close to the top, and we saw like all our 9 members, they were like severely injured. So किसी का ribs fracture हो गया है, किसी का knee fracture हो गया है, and मेरी जो first team member का जो leader था, I think he kind of break his back, so उनकी body बिल्कुल भी नहीं हिल रही थी. So and time हो रहा था around 9:30 or 10 in the night, and it's a month of September, and temperature was somewhere around -20 or -25. So we were doing all this rescue. So सबसे पहले हमने वो जो हमारे टीम मेंबर थे जो हिल नहीं पा रहे थे, हमने उनको कैसे भी करके पुली के सहारे से हमने उनको नीचे लेके आया और हमने उनको टेंट में बिठाया, and we would just start giving the CPR, and I was there holding his head like this, and the army doctor, he's giving CPR, and suddenly his body is like little bluish, and then he died in front of my hand. And that's because I think उनको hypothermia हो गया था, and then his body went under this stress, and then उनको shock हो गया था, heart attack आ गया था, so he died. And then we start like, okay, we like zip the sleeping bag को हमने बंद किया, and then we slipped his dead body aside, and then we start giving the first aid to all other 8 people. So that day we actually saved 8 people, we sacrificed our summit because वो तो करना ही था, because बाकी सब लोगों को save करना था. So we saved 8 people, and in that entire process, I lost my left foot thumb because of the frostbite. So that was the one mountain, I think, the most challenging experience I ever had in mountain, and I never like forget that experience. That was like the best experience, I would say, like one-on-one in इतनी सारी चीजें देखना, सब कुछ करना और इतना quick react करना, and then try to understand that okay, I can handle the situation in that chaos. So वो सब चीजें, that was my first and very intense experience in the high mountain. Then how high mountain can be brutal. So yes, so that was the. But after that, touch wood, I never caught in a bad weather or like avalanche or nothing. I think after that, sorry.
Yeah, good.
So yeah, so after that, I would say, like I was saying, is after that, I think my decision taking capabilities like change, and a lot of things change in my own personal life. That okay, there is nothing about reaching on the top. It's about going the journey and experience the entire process. And sometimes you have to take a hard decision if you want to, like sometimes you have to leave this summit behind and come back safely, because there are a lot of people behind you and who is like waiting for you. And if you will never come back, I don't think so you can actually tell the story to the people. So I think you should come back and you should take a good decision. So that was the one experience I can actually remember, and definitely Everest was one of the best thing happened to me. But I think my Everest went so smooth, so smooth actually. Yeah, I mean, like you must have read and you must have listened a lot of stories about Everest. कि Everest पे ऐसा होता है, वैसा होता है, वैसा होता है, like definitely होता है. But I think in my case, I would say I was prepared. I was so confident on my own abilities that okay, something happened, I can do and I can save myself. That's the one thing. And I think I was trained in a manner that okay, I can actually deal any kind of situation in the high mountains. So I think in that sense it was very smooth, and I was actually enjoying being at the base camp, talking to people, talking to like all other mountaineers. Like they have been climbing since their entire life, 30 years or 35 years, climbing Everest like maybe multiple times. So I was just talking to them, like sharing experiences and all these things. So yeah, so those ones are like the good experience I had, I guess.
Excellent. I think very wonderful to hear your experience, Rahul. How do you see life from there? I mean, what will be your thinking when you climb there, right? How do you feel? And
okay,
how do you think about the life down below?
Okay, so I'll tell you, climbing mountain is not a joy at all. It's a very tough job where you actually try to embrace your own pain, try to tell your mind that okay, I can do it. I'm actually came here to check my own limits, because if you talk about any sport, there are a lot of people who can clap for you, who can actually cheer you, but there is, like in the high mountain, there's no one who can clap for you, who can actually cheer you up. And like, so वहाँ कोई नहीं होता है, so आप खुद होते हो. So in that sense there are a lot of things happens in your mind. आपके दिमाग में बहुत सारी चीजें चलती रहती हैं कि अगर कुछ हो गया तो क्विकली रिएक्ट करना है, और लाइक कंटिन्यूअसली आप चढ़ रहे हो, बहुत सारे स्ट्रगल्स हैं और पेन्स है. यू हैव टू एक्चुअली feel the pain and everything. So I think while climbing in the mountain, I always try to feel that okay, this is the thing where I feel so safe, and I actually feel that okay, if I'm able to climb this mountain, actually there's a connection between me and mountain, because without their permission, I don't think so I'm able to climb the mountain. So I think I got the permission maybe more than 25 times. So always the thing in your own mind that okay, you are actually dealing with your own mind, your own process, your own thoughts, your own doubts, your own fears, and you have to just overcome by yourself, because nobody is here to pat your back or like to cheer you up, nothing like that. So you have to do it by yourself. So I think it's a great learning, and it's actually tell you that if you are in that brutal environment, you need to be prepared, and you need to be like very much very much knowledgeable about your own craft, how you want to climb and how you want to experience this thing. So I think that's the most important thing happened, like running in my mind, that okay, I came here and I had to deal with my own like every kind of fear, and then you can like try to revisit your own journey and everything. So yeah, I mean that's the thing, and you are like on all the time you will be like alert, like okay, anything can happen in the mountain. So yeah.
Thank you, Rahul. I think it's great. So let's talk a little bit about. So what are your goals? Like, where do you you've set up
Okay.
something as your goal? As like how many
Okay.
mountains
Yeah.
and
So yeah. I mean, there are a lot of goals in front of me, definitely. So to be honest, I really want to climb more and more mountain in Himalayas, like Indian Himalayas, not Nepal Himalayas, and not very very high mountain, because I really want to promote Indian Himalayas, because lot of people from India, even from the outside of the world, they go to Nepal and climb the high mountain. But in India, we have very, very, very tough, very, very, very challenging mountain. So I really want to climb them and actually try to give them a highlight that okay, you can also come here and climb. So that's the one thing which I really want to do. But why I did Everest? So see, the thing is when you actually uh, try to climb a mountain, okay, and if you really want to climb mountains like back to back, sometimes you need saving, sometimes you need funds and everything. So wherever I go, wherever I went, like with my profile, like very strong profile, and whenever I tell them, okay, I have done all these mountain and I really want you to just put some money on me, and they always ask me like, okay, have you done the Everest? Because nobody knows the name of the other mountain, they only know the name of the Everest. So then I decided, okay, I have to I have to finish the Everest first. So actually when I go and meet people, they can actually feel okay that this person have done something, because otherwise they don't even look at you as an athlete, or like they don't even treat you like a person who actually trying to follow and trying to make it a profession or something like that. They don't even do that. Okay, so that's why I climbed the Everest one. So now I'm working on my Seven Summit project, like to climb the highest mountain in each continent. And in that project, I have already climbed the four mountains, like highest mountain of Africa, highest mountain of Europe, highest mountain of South America, and highest mountain of Asia. So now I'm looking forward to climb North America, Vincent, and Australia. And apart from that, I really want to do skiing till North Pole and South Pole. So yeah, so rest of the other things, they are gonna be like very 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 super expensive. But I think for them also, I have a plan that I really want to work as an outdoor educator. I really want to go outside of India and work in US and maybe in Australia, because they have a very 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 good outdoor education culture. So I really want to go there, work, save some money, earn some money, and then come back to India and try to apply all those learning and try to work on Indian kids. So that's also one of the things which I really looking forward to do. And and yeah, so this is the thing where I want to finish my seventh summit, North Pole and South Pole. And the same thing, like, which I really want to do side by side, is work as an outdoor educator, work with kids, work with young minds. Because to be honest, in India, we don't even include outdoor sports, even any kind of sports in our curriculum. We always like, we still think that okay, everybody can gain all kind of attributes from the books. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, if you, अगर आप अपने बच्चे को बाहर खेलने के लिए अलाउ ही नहीं करोगे, तो आई डोंट थिंक सो
हमें
दे
कॉलेज में आपकी फोटो लगानी हो तो कहाँ लग
just so what I'm saying is, so that's the thing is कि अगर आप अपने बच्चे को अलाउ ही नहीं करोगे कि भाई आउटसाइड में लाइक आउटडोर्स में कुछ करे, आई डोंट थिंक सो he'll be able to understand that what kind of leader he is, how he can do the team work, and how he can manage the risk, how can he mitigate the risk, and like lot of soft skills. I think people can work when they allow their kids to work in outdoors, in a team, in a summer camp settings and everything. So I think that's the main thing. And अभी जितना भी मैंने लोगों के साथ काम किया है, और जितना मैंने नेपाल में या फिर रशिया में या साउथ अमेरिका में जितने भी लोगों से के साथ काम किया है, सो आई थिंक आई kind of broaden my perspective. Now I can see a lot of things in a different perspective, because पहले मुझे लगता था कि I'm a मेंढक who live in a lake, जो एक कुएं में रहता है, उसके चारों तरफ जो चीज है वही उसकी दुनिया है. But there is a like दुनिया इतनी बड़ी है बाहर. I think you should just go out and explore, try to talk to people and try to understand their perspective about a lot of other stuff. So I think because of that, my perspective actually grown, and I got this confidence that I'm able to talk to in front of like 100 people at the same time. I can share my experience. So I think that's the one thing which I really want to work on kids, and try to give them this kind of opportunity where they can actually come and do all these things. So yeah, that's the thing.
Excellent, Rahul. It was a pleasure and an honor to to be here and interact with you. I'm sure the audience will also have a lot of questions, and again we'll talk offline. I have a lot of questions, but we'll take it offline. But I wanted to give an opportunity to the bosses as well to ask you questions. So anyone, Joshua sir, you wanted to ask a question? I think you raised your hand.
Joshua wants to ask it.
Yeah, I think Joshua.
Manoj, you can talk.
Joshua, can you unmute yourself and ask a question?
Yeah. My query is, have you experienced any spiritual experiences during the climb and when you reached the top? Anything spiritual?
Yes, I would say yes, because as I mentioned earlier, because mountain को आपको allow करना होगा climb करने के लिए, because I have seen lot of people उस दिन पूरा weather अच्छा है and suddenly they were like caught into bad weather. So I think whenever you go and approach a mountain, you should have very, very, very pure intention, and you need to connect with the mountain. And I always feel like there is a soul who live inside the mountain who actually allow you to go and climb and reach at the top. Okay, so you always go with a very pure heart, very pure intention. And I always felt that, okay, I have that connection with the mountain, and touch wood, I'm telling you, after that incident, I never caught in a very like bad avalanche or anything. I think they always allowed me to go and climb. So I think yes, I think lot of time I feel that, okay, that connection, yeah, yes.
Thank you.
सर, अगर कॉलेज में आपका फोटो लगाना हो तो कहाँ पे लगा दें? लाइफ साइज फोटो लगवाना चाहते हैं आपका?
I mean, बॉस वो तो बहुत ज्यादा हो जाएगा. तो
नहीं, ये हमारे लिए जयपुर चैप्टर के लिए बहुत गर्व की बात है. और आप बताओ कहाँ पे लगाएं? मैं 2 ऑप्शन दे रहा हूँ: मेटलर्जी डिपार्टमेंट, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ब्लॉक, अपोजिट गर्ल्स हॉस्टल और अपोजिट योर हॉस्टल.
No, I would say कि sports complex is a good place to actually like अगर ऐसा कुछ करना है तो I think sports complex जहाँ पे ज्यादा लोग आए और उसको देखें, and I think they can try to reach me अगर उनको कोई भी inquiry या फिर कुछ भी ऐसा हो. So I think sports complex is the best place where I actually want कि हमारे college का 90% youth वहाँ जाना चाहिए. मतलब regular basis पे they can go to classes and do all this stuff, but उनको regularly sports and all these activities में जाना चाहिए. तो I would say a sports complex is a good choice.
This will be done and we will post the picture along with your achievements.
Oh, thank you, boss. Thank you.
And good luck to you and best of luck to win all the continents. And
Thank
then
you,
we'll
boss.
have your another picture with standing on the top of the globe.
Oh yes, thank you. I mean, I can totally understand. Like, अभी इतना करने के बाद में मुझे ये समझ में आता है कि first of all, I don't know how to define success. So मैंने वो define करना ही बंद कर दिया कि success actually होती क्या, I don't know. Success कुछ भी हो सकता है, it's very subjective कि आप अगर regular आपने छोटी-छोटी चीजें कर पा रहे हो तो I think वही success है. And दूसरी चीज जो मुझे लगता है कि if you are able to take risk for your own stuff, for your own things, I think you can make some changes. अगर लोग कह भी रहे हो शुरू में कि हाँ ठीक है यार, what the bullshit you are doing and this is not gonna happen or something like that, but still if you keep believing in yourself, I think you can do it. So I think वही चीज जो मुझे समझ में आती है अभी, and कोई भी चीज आपको चुटकी बजा के एक बार में तो नहीं मिलती. I mean, things take time and you need to just continue put your efforts and your continuous effort, your punctuality, your like your, I would say dedication is very important. Like where you are like, you don't like doing certain thing, but still you are waking up early in the morning, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, doing all the process and doing everything. So I think that's the main thing which I can understand, and I really want to tell to all the people, not you guys, but all the people in college and everywhere. So I think that's the most important thing.
Rahul, Mukundan here from 85 pass out batch. One question: how accurate is the weather prediction when you do all this expedition? I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you. So when I climbed in Nepal, when I climbed outside of India, that time they were like almost 95% accurate, because nowadays they use 3 or 4 different weather forecast systems. Like some people use Swiss forecast system, some people use Polish, some people use US. So if you are climbing a very big mountain like Everest and any other 8,000 meters, so in that case the weather forecast like very accurate. But in India, when you climb very close to the border, like suppose if you are climbing very close to the border in Uttarakhand or Leh Ladakh or anywhere, so in those areas, Indian Army don't allow you to carry any kind of satellite phone or any other device, because it's a very sensitive area. So in those areas, हमारे पास ज्यादा accurate weather report नहीं होती है. तो हमें क्या करना होता है उस टाइम पे, हम लोग जो करते हैं, हम लोग पुराने जो expedition reports होती है उनको पढ़ के we try to find out like a good weather window कि हाँ ठीक है, पिछले 2 साल से या 5 साल से जो भी summits हो रहे हैं, जो भी लोग top पे पहुंच रहे हैं, वो इस dates के बीच में पहुंच रहे हैं. So I think if we try to plan these dates, so I think वहां पे मिल सकता है. And then on the mountain, when we are on the mountain, we try to use our own experience, try to like see, yeah, okay, this is a good weather condition. So in India, it's a little bit difficult, and outside of India, it's very, very easy. Like, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Rahul, it was great to hear your experience, and really you got a lot of conviction and perseverance. I just wanted to know, it might not have happened in your swan. At any point of time, did you ever think, okay, let's give it up?
To be honest, I'm telling you, like a lot of people ask me this question, and this is a wonderful question, because when you actually giving that much pain to yourself, sometimes you think that, okay, why I'm actually doing this, why I'm here, why I'm doing this and everything. But to be honest, while climbing Everest, while climbing any other mountain, not for a single second this thought came in my mind that why exactly I'm doing this. Never. I'm telling you very honestly, never this thought came in my mind. I was just like, I'm at a place where I really want to be, and I just want to give my best, and I just want to prove myself. I don't want to prove anybody that what exactly I'm doing and why I'm doing. No, I just want to prove myself that, okay, you can do anything, just do it. And like these kind of like this thought never came in my mind while climbing Everest, while climbing any other mountain. Never.
That is great, Rahul. I mean, this is a fundamental thing, which of course, whoever does whatever is one, this one thing we should not have, that you proved that. I expected this answer, you gave it. Thank you.
Yeah, next question. Pia Shah, can you go ahead and ask your question?
Yes, sure. Hi, Rahul. Hi. After so long, I'm speaking to you.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. I'd like to ask
Pia,
you.
introduce yourself. You're from which batch?
I'm
Okay,
not
so
from.
she is not from MNIT. Actually, she did a course with me. So
Okay.
I really want her to come on this podcast to listen.
Very good.
So yeah, Pia, you can ask
Yeah,
questions.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that at what point do you know that you have crossed the threshold for risk taking and the risk outweighs the benefit in climbing or going ahead the mountain?
Can
When
you
do you know that the
can you repeat the question again, please?
Yeah, I'm
One
going
more
to
time.
ask you, when do you know that the risk is too much to take? When do you
Mm-hmm.
know that I have to step back now or I must go home now?
Okay. So I got this. So it's very subjective. And it depends on situation to situation. So suppose if I'm climbing alone and if I'm doing like some expedition in an alpine style, and if I'm going in a mountain by myself, and I think that okay, it's now the time is too late and I need to go back, like, because as we know in the mountain after like 12 o'clock or after 2 o'clock हमेशा weather change हो जाता है. So first of all, if I am like very close to my turnaround time and still मेरा काफी लंबा stretch बाकी है, so turnaround time के according. Second, if my weather is changing very abruptly, like अगर वो बहुत quickly बहुत जल्दी change हो गया है, so that's the one thing. And if I'm not feeling doing that mountain, like if I'm not feeling from inside कि यार मुझे जाना चाहिए इसके ऊपर, ठीक है, कई बार क्या होता है अंदर से feeling अच्छी नहीं आती. So I think these are the three reasons when I'm climbing alone by myself or maybe with one of my climbing partner. But when I go with a team, in that expedition, I think I need to consider a lot of other factors. First of all, the weather, definitely, condition to my team members, if they are feeling good, we can go. But if some of them they are not feeling good, I think it's better to take a decision and to go down with them safely. Okay, because you can't leave your team members in between and you can like, okay, I'll go the summit and you can go down by yourself. So I think that's one of the thing. And again, if the turnaround time is very close, you can take the decision, okay, still we need to go maybe more 200, 300 or 500 meters and we are already reached like our turnaround time, so we need to take this decision, hard decision. Maybe we can come back again, or maybe we can come some other day and approach the summit. So I think these are the few points I can say where we can take the decision to turn around and to abandon, like, okay, to decide, okay, we are not gonna go on the summit. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Manikandan, you had a question?
Yes, boss, I had the question, but already that question was asked. That one point in time, whether he had any doubt in his mind whether to drop it, but he told he has a positive attitude, never die, what do you call never die, approach some kind of thing. Now I have only one question to Rahul Bairwa. This is my second question. Okay, it is running in my mind. Rahul, what do you do? One or two things which keeps you motivated.
Okay, which keeps me motivated. So
Motivated.
So this is the most important thing, I think, when you actually go behind your goal with your own, like, doing something without any motivation, I think. So the thing is, what I do to like gain more like motivate myself, I think I always have a whiteboard in front of my study table. So I always try to write what I exactly want to do. So I supposed to climb Everest in 2019, and I wrote Everest, and then I wrote 2019, and I was just like every day I woke up doing all the training and everything, and then 2019 वो नहीं हो पाया, and then next year I did it is like 2020, तब नहीं हो पाया, and then COVID came, and then 21 I wrote 21, उस साल भी नहीं हुआ, then 23 22. So I would say कि in order to keep myself motivated, I try to write down all my goals and try to see them again and again and try to recall and try to tell myself, okay, you need to go behind this particular thing, okay, and you need to remember this thing, that this thing will never come to you in a single day. you need to do a continuous efforts, one by one, day by day, continuous. And then one day you will automatically reach at a certain point and you will never realize ki bhai main kaise yahan tak pahunch gaya. So I think write down your goals, try to see them, try to analyze them, or maybe try to tell yourself again and again, okay, these are my goals. I think in that sense you can keep yourself motivated towards your goal.
Yeah, there is one question somebody has asked about nutrition. What kind of food do you need to take if you want to, you aspire to be a mountaineer? When you climb mountains, what kind of food do you need to take?
Okay. So when you are off the mountain, when you are doing your training and everything in lower altitude, where you actually doing a lot of endurance programs, where you doing a lot of training like in gym training and some hikes, some swimming and all these. So in those kind of activities, I would say best nutrition is like a balanced diet where you can actually include protein, include carbs, include like any kind of fibers and everything in your diet, which is very important. And the most important thing, you should quit if you do smoking, if you drink, you should quit all those two things. And the nutrition part is definitely you try to focus on your protein intake, because when you do the long duration workout and everything, your muscles lose a lot. Okay, and if you run long durations, you do endurance program, maybe by swimming and all these. So I think your main focus should be on protein intake should be good, so that you can actually recover your muscles very quickly and your body recover very nicely. So that's the one thing you can actually very focus on your protein part. And definitely apart from that, I think if you try to include all kind of elements in your food, I think that's the more than sufficient. And try to include the protein intake according to your intensity of your workout. If you like very intense, very intense, so I think you need to take protein according to that. And apart from that, like a balanced diet is very important. And if you are able to quit smoking, and if you are able to quit drinking, I think that's more than enough to gain a good shape for the mountain.
We have another question from Sridhar, 82 batch, metallurgy again. He's also from metallurgy. He wants to know whether you encounter any wild animals on your treks and.
Oh yes. I have seen a lot of wild animals. So when I was in Africa, I saw a lot of snakes. And when I was in Ladakh, 2 times I saw leopards. And one time I was doing one trek in Shingalila National Park in Darjeeling. I saw red panda there. In Ladakh, I have seen blue sheep. I have seen mongoose and a different. I forgot the name of that small animal. It's pretty much close to the mongoose. So we have seen them. And last year when I was in Ladakh, I was doing one trek and I came down and I saw this brown bear. He was just in front of me, like 10 meter or 20 meter. So we saw them, but we were like 5 or 6 people. So we shouted a lot and we created a lot of noise. So he ran like towards the opposite side. So yes, we like I encountered a lot of animals. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any more questions, please? So, Srivatsa, can you?
Thank you, Rahul, for your wonderful explaining us about your. It was really interesting and inspiring to all of us. Great to have you in this session. Now I invite Mr. Manikandan. Can you please give a word of thanks?
Rahul.
Oh, yes,
First of all, on behalf of MNIT Tamil Nadu and Puducherry chapter, we sincerely thank you for taking your time out to share your real life experience. The thing what happened to us is, even in our office, One day boss says something, our motivation level comes down to zero. We don't know how to manage the real life situation. The kind of experience what you said is really, when you climb the mountain, there are no other support other than you and your willpower. So what we learned from your session is, sometimes it is necessary to go down to climb up. Go down is also to climb up in the life. So this message is very powerfully communicated by you. Thanks a lot for the wonderful session. And I also thank our Rakesh Jain boss, Dean Alumni Affairs, for taking time and joining the session. And he used the wonderful word, I think, fusioning of fashion and your work. That's really very powerful. Thank you, Rakesh boss. And I sincerely thank all the participants for taking time out in the busy evening and to learn from the real life achievement of Rahul Bairwa. Thank you. And on behalf of MNIT Tamil Nadu and Puducherry chapter, we wishing you all the best to have many more success in your life. We are with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's really wonderful to be here and to share my journey with all of you. And I just want to tell one thing, that I really want that our MNITian will definitely go more and more in different sports where people actually think that, okay, they can actually make their profession, actually convert their profession into a, like their passion into a profession, definitely. So thank you for having me. And yeah, like, so nowadays I just dream to just stand in MNIT in front of 5,000 people and give my TEDx. So I just dream that. So so definitely that will happen one day. So yes, yeah, thank you for having me. Yes, thank you.
Are you planning to write a book?
Yes, I actually write down all my experience. I actually try to jot them down, and definitely not one day, like soon, maybe I'll try to publish a small book and then maybe a bigger book. Definitely was. Yes.
We would love to have that book in our library.
Very thoughtful of Mr. Manoj to put your portrait in the sports complex.
Definitely,
so even the book can be...
Definitely. And we would like to have the copy, as many as possible, in our library, the copy of those books once he is done with it. And only one question which is there, which I wanted always to ask in the end. There was one climber who was doing the expedition, Mr. Anurag Sharma of Jaipur. And only day before yesterday, he was traced out. Although right now he is in Manipal Hospital, Nepal. But now his family is worried that the rescue team is asking 65 lakh of rupees. So is that the case, or there is some provision of insurance for rescue? Or now they are not only worried about their son, but also worried about as to how would they pay for that money?
Okay. So yeah, so this is a very good question, which I really want to address here. That most of the, like, not most of the time, all the time, whenever we go in the mountain, we take international insurance, where they actually cover our accidental and all these kind of expenses, like almost like $50,000 or $100,000. They do that because we pay a lot of amount of money, like lakh rupees or 2 lakh rupees for that kind of insurance for each and every mountain. We do that. So yes, so that's the thing. But in case of Anurag, definitely they need to give a proper incident report. On the basis of that, that particular company will reimburse all the money, because all these international companies, they don't give you on the basis of, like, without giving a fact that particular incident happened because of some reasons or something. If they find out there is some flaws in between, so they try to do something. So I think their family is in the process to do all the deal and everything with the insurance company. But in order to pay first end money, मतलब जो अभी उनको देना है, उसके लिए they need to like collect that much amount of money, or maybe later on they can reimburse from the insurance company. Maybe they can do that later, but at the first hand they need that money to give it to the expedition company, because all these expeditions, they take so much money, so much like resources and everything. Yeah. Yes.
तो आप हमें एक तो वो एवरेस्ट पे खड़े होने की फोटो, एक आपका पासपोर्ट फोटो और बाकी अचीवमेंट्स हम खुद टाइप करा के वो फ्लैक्स वहां लगवा देंगे. ये 2 चीजें आप अच्छे रेजोल्यूशन पे इस ग्रुप में पोस्ट कर देना.
Okay, boss. Okay, I'll give it to you. Thank you.
ठीक है.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is very nice of you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you, boss.
All the best.
Thank you.
All the best, Rahul. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
अगर ये Zoom पे गले लगाने की फैसिलिटी होती तो मैं आपको गले भी लगाता. यहाँ अभी
तो आप
कभी
तो
भी
जयपुर में ही है ना, ये both of you are locals. We can go to his home and
oh yes.
again
both of us can meet and we can
yeah Manoj, you can meet him at his house and you can garland him and hug him, no problem.
Are you in Jaipur?
Oh yes boss. I mean,
अरे मैं I am coming to your place. कहाँ रहते हो बताओ.
मैं रहता हूँ महेश नगर, तो अब मिलते हैं.
अरे तो यार मैं तो पीछे रहता हूँ. आ रहा हूँ अभी शाम को आता हूँ.
जी.
ये तमिलनाडु चैप्टर के लिए मैं आई एम ग्रेटफुल कि उन्होंने बताओ जयपुर में हमको मिलवा दिया.
खाली हाथ मत जाना, तोहफा भी लेके जाना.
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल. And I belong to batch of K. Siva Subramaniam and NR Mukundan and K. Shivaji Prabhu and many more colleagues which I am not able to recollect right now.
Which is why I am taking the liberty to tell you I am Shivaji.
First time I am seeing Shiva sir ragging someone so nicely.
Okay, thank you. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Rahul. All the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.